Traditional Education versus Online Education by Carrie Song. Today I will be going over the reason or the purpose that I had chosen to compare online and traditional education, the key differences between those types of education, the benefits, as well as the flexibilities and costs. And lastly, I'll be providing overall feedback that I receive from employees and managements in my current company as it relates to online and traditional education. Let's take a look at the purpose of the topic. Being in management, I currently understand the value that it has in discussing online and traditional education for those who are trying to further advance their career or just wanting to focus on their self-development in the workplace. It benefits themselves and it also benefits the employee. Whether or not that employee is looking to be within the company long-term or short-term, any types of experience or knowledge gained will overall benefit that company. And lastly, options for employees. While discussing the opportunities that online and traditional education can provide them, a lot of the employees have expressed wanting to know what the differences are so they're able to make that best educated decision on what they feel is best suited for their needs. So let's take a look at the key differences between traditional education and online education. While there are several key differences to each style, the differences simply attribute to the delivery method rather than that overall teaching style. Traditional education is really defined as being in that in-classroom setting. Again, while the delivery of the material can be via network or by professor, it is that in-classroom environment setting. Individual attention or interaction with the professor. Those who may find traditional education best suited for them are those who enjoy participations or group discussions. Verbal and nonverbal communication. This is often identified through interactions with other students or in the professors. Online education is simply a network or computer-based education. Being able to identify the verbal and nonverbal communication is essential, but with online education, sometimes personality styles prefer the online education. For example, introverts. Introverts tend not to appreciate the group discussions as much as extroverts. So online educations may be for those who prefer to be self-driven or self-motivators. Extended period of time to respond or process information. This can be essential to one's learning. Some take longer to process and respond to information, which is okay. Online education will allow for that, so rather to respond right away in front of other individuals or in that group environment, an online education allows an individual to respond or process to that information. Benefits. Again, let's take a look at traditional education first. One of the benefits of traditional education is the structured schedule that it has. There generally is a particular date and time in which the class is offered. This can help those who benefit from an organized or structured environment. It holds people accountable and it helps plan when any assignments are needed. Again, that individualized attention. Some prefer the one-on-one interaction that a traditional education can provide with the professor. Online education, as opposite of the structured schedule, it allows you to make your own schedule. So while a date and time doesn't allow to work in your schedule, the online education allows for that more flexibility. It also allows for self-discipline. For those who are really looking to take matters into their own hands or adjust to what works best for them, the online education may be a better choice. It also saves physical space. So for those colleges that don't have the room for in-classroom settings, online education can be a way to offer more classes to students just in that network and computer-based systems. Flexibility and cost. There are possible discounts through schoolings or companies. So if a schooling is having a problem with that physical space, they may provide those discounts for students who take online courses. Also, there are some companies that offer discounts based on the types of schooling provided. So it's worth looking into to see if your company or school do provide some of those discounts. While there really is no significant discount for an individual based on online and traditional education, the 2013 and 2014 academic school year really provides pricing estimates for those in the public spectrum and then versus the private spectrum. The feedback that I received from overall employees is the review of all the facts. So I had an individual named Mr. Silbernagel who I interviewed throughout my research paper really stated that in order to make the best education decision, he wanted to be able to provide all the facts. Those key differences and the benefits of each type of education would allow him to make the best educated decision for him. Again, just offering the overall options that there are for employees. So sometimes companies will offer traditional education or online education for their employees based on what the company's needs are. And then lastly, what works for me doesn't always work for you. So really having those open-ended discussions with either your manager or another coworker is really important when you're trying to decide which one works best for you. While online education currently is working for me as I'm going back to school, that may not be the best option for one of my employees. So again, having all those facts is really important in making the best educated decision possible. Thank you.